Now, in the novel, rather than just serving and loving the least of these, the pool shark, the outlaw, which Kerouac, as every man, so passionately and eloquently does, he also becomes one of the least of these. One of my favorite passages in On the Road comes in Skid Row, Detroit. Now, some of you know I'm from Detroit, and I spent some time in what they would call Skid Row, the Cass Corridor. And there's this all-night movie theater, and Kerouac spends the night, and he catalogs what he would call the dregs of Detroit, as if they'd been dumped there to give Kerouac his litany of a modern-day least of these. And I quote from the novel On the Road. Beat Negroes who'd come up from Alabama to work in car factories on a rumor. Old white bums. Young, long-haired hipsters who'd reached the end of the road and were drinking wine. Whores. Ordinary couples. Housewives with nothing to do. Nowhere to go. Nobody to believe in. If you sifted all of Detroit in a wire basket, the beater, solid core of dregs couldn't be better gathered. But On the Road isn't all about the down low on the low down. Its ecstasies and epiphanies are many to name. One worth mentioning is a tribute to the African-American music scene, to its new song, its new tune, to its new way to, quote, raise men's souls to joy. It's in On the Road's innocent and optimistic appraisal of American open-endedness, typified by the vastness of our landscape and the vision of our musicians. This is the best of Kerouac. And also as his writer's teachings on the importance of spontaneity as belief and technique. He has this list. It's 30 things. He calls it the list of essentials. This is advice for young writers, but it's also advice for life. They're little jewels. I'll quote just about 8 of them. Submissive to everything. Open listening. Be in love with your life. The jewel center of interest is the I within the I. Accept loss forever. Believe in the holy contour of life. Keep track of every day, the date emblazoned in your morning. You are a genius all the time. Writer, director of earthly movies, sponsored and angeled in heaven. He's saying that we are all the writer-directors of our own earthly movies, and it's sponsored by heaven. Now, a couple weeks ago, Pat Handelson said he thought we shouldn't post the 10 Commandments, we should post the Beatitudes. I agree. And I also think we could sponsor posting Jack Kerouac's 30 Essentials. You are a genius all the time, and you are the writer and director of your own earthly movie, and it's sponsored in heaven. When looking at the complete Kerouac against the backdrop of his life, there is a problem in these problematic texts, especially if I'm reading them as I do as prophetic teaching texts, because there's this don't try this at home element. There are elements of slumming and bumming, of sexism and substance abuse. In preaching the beat gospel, my Reverend Eddington, my Unitarian pastor, he addresses both the blessings and the excesses of this simultaneously divine and sometimes demonic gospel of Neil Cassidy, who I'll call here the Cassidy Christ. He's our holy goof. He has this be here now, mystical madness of the moment. Eddington, the author, explains it this way. For Neil, the madness of the moment doesn't need to lead anywhere. The madness of the moment yields timelessness.